Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Don't forget to check out my website, La Vida Rosa Style, which is linked down below. You can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Y'all, I feel like everything that I've said before about these couples, I mean, the same thing applies. Nothing has changed. Same old thing. Ain't nothing new. I'm so ready for decision day. I feel like, honestly, they could have cut this episode and went straight to decision day. But as we can tell, they're trying to stretch this season out as long as possible, even though it's been the most dysfunctional season we've ever seen. Let's start off with Taylor and Brandon. Brandon was not on this episode whatsoever. He says that he's not coming back to the show unless the executive producer apologized. I'm not sure if that's the producer that he got in his face. I'm not sure which producer it was, but he was just like, look, I'm not coming back unless they apologize. And honestly, y'all, the more I thought about it since last week's episode, and I know how producers can be, I know how they can be messy, and just how messy this season has been, I wouldn't be surprised if the producers were pulling something behind the scenes and making it more messy, maybe getting in Taylor's ear, trying to get in Brandon's ear, trying to stir up a controversy simply to have a better show. I would not be surprised by that whatsoever. This show is a far cry from what it used to be, and I feel like a lot of the integrity of this show has been lost. I wouldn't be surprised if they were being shysty behind the scenes, and he just refuses to work with these people that have wronged him. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, do I think he handled himself the right way? Not necessarily. I wouldn't have handled myself that way. I do think he still has a problem with holding things inside and just having outbursts because of everything he's holding inside. There are better ways to handle situations that you don't want to be a part of, like simply just sitting there. You don't have to give them TV. You could just sit there and be still. This is what one of the couples said on Couples Couch. Like, if you don't want to be filmed, all you have to do is sit there and say nothing, and you'll, like, literally they'll have no footage, but you're giving them plenty. You're giving them what they want, basically, Brandon. So you're doing the exact opposite of what you were trying to do last episode. This time around, you were successful by not being on camera at all. You're not giving them what they want at all. So, you know, hopefully he gets that apology and he comes back and finishes this out, because even though I think majority of these couples should not remain together, I do think he should be there to say his piece, because I feel like just like he did Taylor wrong in some aspects, she's done him wrong in some aspects, and just get some closure, because I just don't see this working. Even though surprisingly, him and Taylor have been canoodling off camera. We're on camera because we saw him. I guess he didn't know they had a secret little spy camera up in the corner watching them when they be Netflixing and chilling, but they've been getting quite comfy on that couch. So I was just like, okay, maybe his issue really is with the cameras. And also, he said his job was not here for him missing days because of the show, so maybe he's just trying to keep his job. So Taylor met with her friends, and she's just telling them what happened on the trip, but she's omitting the reason why her and Brandon got into it. Like, she really kind of like left out a big chunk of, you know, what she did wrong. She did the same thing last week with the Married at First Sight cast. Like, I mean, she didn't tell them that she was out all night. She only told what Brandon had did wrong. And I understand those are your friends. They gonna be on your side regardless, but at least tell them the whole story. She feels like he's different off camera, and she's willing to try to make it work. Majority of her friends completely hate Brandon, and one of her friends is like, pull through. I know you guys can make it. I know he's made mistakes, but you can do it. Don't we all have a friend like that is just gonna be optimistic about your relationship no matter what's going on? You know, the rest of her friends are like, dump him. Well, we'll see what Taylor decides next week, because she's gonna show up. Hopefully Brandon does, and you know, we can have some closure to this volatile relationship. So let's move on to Jess and Austin, who have been doing fairly well throughout this whole season, but they have hit a major speed bump right at the end, and it's a little bit unfortunate because it's making them question their relationship, and I feel like this is something that can be worked through, and they're having some major miscommunication. And I think this is a time where the experts should step in. This is a time where Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Viviana, y'all need to be stepping in at this current moment when they're having communication issues, because I feel like a lot of it is just they're receiving each other wrong, and they just have maybe different communication styles. So when Austin met up with his friend, he admitted that the reason why it's taking him so long to say I love you is because in the past when he said it, he's been heartbroken right after. So he's scared of getting his heart broken, but he also admitted that when she said I love you, he felt it. So Austin, I've been sitting up here defending you, saying this man will say it in his own time, you know, he'll say it when he feels it, when in actuality you're just scared to get your heart broken. You feel the same way about her, but you're scared to tell her because you think she's gonna break your heart when she's basically put herself out there. I've been sitting up here defending you every week, been going hard on Jessica, like this man is gonna say it when he feels it, and you feel it but you're just scared. Grow up. You're like, y'all are in this situation where you have to give your all and throw all of yourself in there immediately. You're marrying someone, so if you're gonna be holding back like that, you should have never participated. And that's what I feel about a lot of people in this situation. Even though I feel like Austin has been doing good for the most part, but you've been holding out on this I love you thing. Why is that the hill you want to die on when you actually feel the same way about her? So yeah, I'm irritated towards him when he said that. And even his friend says it might not ever be the right time to say it, and don't overthink it, and you need to step up, because Jessica might not be sitting here waiting on you for months and months, especially when y'all already having conflict. When Jessica met up with her twin, she said she had dated long distance in the past and it was a struggle, so that's why it bothers her that he's going to be traveling so much. And she also feels like if he's committed, why can't he just say I love you? You already said you felt it, so why can't you just say it to her? So they went on a date and the I love you thing came up again. He's defensive once again. Then the travel thing comes up again. He's even more so defensive about the travel. He said he's tired of talking about it. It's for work. And my thing with the travel, it would bother me, especially if he wasn't completely forthcoming with how often, but it is what it is. If y'all are gonna be together, this is his job, okay? Just like you work long hours, he has to travel, and to get to where he can be more stable and not have to travel so much for work, he has to do this. But traveling, he has to travel, I believe he said 3 days out of every week. I feel like y'all can make that work. Like, I really feel like y'all can make that work. You have to work majority of the day anyway. You only get to see him at night anyway. So, I mean, what's 3 days out of a week? Y'all can still FaceTime. Y'all can call each other. I know y'all still getting to know each other, but I feel like there's ways around this. And I feel like she is harping on it kind of harshly because of the I love you thing. That's just my opinion. But he also kind of is taking her, questioning him about working. I feel like he's taking it the wrong way. He's taking it as if she is downplaying his success. I feel like he's very sensitive about where he is in life as far as his job. So I think because he kind of feels insecure about it a little bit, he's taking it as her judging him about where he is. And she's not. I think she just is concerned about the traveling and being away from each other, whereas he's taking it as, you don't respect what I do for a living, you don't respect where I am. And so by the time they were about to leave each other, I feel like that would have been a perfect time for Austin to say I love you. He should have said it right then and there. Like, even though we're having this argument, we're not on the same page, I love you, because you do feel that. You just because y'all having this argument doesn't mean you don't feel it. And I feel like he really let that opportunity pass, and he didn't even give her a kiss, and she felt some type of way about that. And I'm just like, y'all were doing so good. I still think they're gonna end up saying yes, but it's just, they're gonna have to work through this. And I feel like they're gonna need somebody to help them talk through it because they just keep missing each other's point. Let's talk about Mika and Michael, because here we are again. Like, I feel like we do the same thing every single week. It's like the same cycle with Mika and Michael. Michael lies or does something that irritates Mika. Mika calls him out. They both pout about it. And then he says something without any action to try to prove his love or that he cares about her, and she accepts it and all of a sudden sees a brighter tomorrow. Like, I just don't get it, Mika. I don't understand. Like, Mika must really want this to work. She must have truly wanted to be married. She truly put her all into this. And I feel so bad for her that she got matched up with someone who is just not capable of giving her what she needs or what she deserves. A lot of people don't like Mika's ways. And yeah, Mika does have her ways, but honestly, we can't even say how Mika truly is because she's been dealing with someone who's been dishonest with her. And my guard would be up with someone who's been dishonest with me too. I'd be ready to snap too. I'd be on edge too. I would be calling out everything he was doing too. You know what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily how I am regularly. I'm gonna be on edge if I feel like you stay lying. We haven't really got to see how Mika truly is in a relationship because she's been dealing with someone who's been dishonest since the first day. So I think it's unfair to judge Mika. The only situation where I could see she was wrong is him expressing to her that his uncle died. That was a time to be compassionate no matter what, because you chose to be married to him still. Like, it'd be different if y'all were exes or y'all not together, y'all separated, and he tell you something like that. I don't expect for you to deal with it the way a wife would, but you're choosing to stay with him. You're choosing to stick by his side. So I feel like no matter what the situation was outside of that, yeah, you should have comforted him after finding out his uncle passed suddenly. That's just something a wife is supposed to do regardless of what's going on, because you decided to stick with him. So that's kind of like that is a part of your job description. So I'm glad she apologized for that, but everything Michael has done has outweighed that by far. So I'm not gonna harp on that against her. Michael was being very childish when they went out apple picking. I didn't understand the point of them going on that date apple picking because Michael was being completely standoffish. He was not talking to her. Mika was making an effort to have a conversation, and she was trying to at least be cordial. Michael wasn't doing that whatsoever. I mean, especially when they sat down for their picnic or whatever, and he took the one he wanted instead of offering her an, you know, a choice in the matter at all. Like, that was completely rude. On the car ride home, he was being very passive aggressive, keeping his earphones in. Like, he's not ready. He's not. And I don't care what anyone says. He sat and talked to his sister. I think even his sister knows. I think even his sister knows that he's not ready. She told him he needs to be open and tell the complete truth, be completely honest. And you know, how can somebody trust you if you're not? So I feel like the sister redeemed herself with that one. I do feel like she probably could have went a little harder on him, but she might not know the complete situation. I don't think Mika told her the exact details of what happened. She just said that he was dishonest. And obviously Michael ain't telling her what's going on. So she also confirmed that he's obviously dealing with some repressed issues that came out during this process, even though I still believe Michael is using that as a crutch, because I could believe you're having issues with being adopted, especially if you've never dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But I can't let you use that as an excuse this whole time, because you know it's an issue. I think the only way he can work through the issue he has now is to take some time and actually do some work on himself, and don't hold somebody down with you while you're doing that. That's unfair to Mika. Just like Greg from last season, he said he had a lot of issues he knew he had to work through. So before he signed up to get married, he took the time to work through it with a therapist. And so by the time he got married to Deanna, he was ready. Like, he had already taken the time to get rid of those issues and to have some coping skills so that when he gets married, his wife wouldn't have to, you know, bear the burden of that. And I feel like that's what Michael didn't do. That's what he needs to do before he can be married to someone successfully. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about was their date. And Mika noticed that he had been home a lot, and she was just wondering, like, so what's going on with your job? You've been home a lot. And he just nonchalantly was like, yeah, well, I put in my 2 weeks notice.
I've been home a lot more. I just wanted to know, like, what prompted the change from where you were working at?
I put in my 2 weeks notice. Simply put, it's not working.
And Mika's reaction was priceless. It was hilarious. I laughed so hard. I rewound that part so many times. I was cracking up because her reaction was my reaction. Mika said this is his 3rd job in 2 months. Since she's met him, this is his 3rd job. Her biggest issue with Michael is that if she would have never asked him this, he would have never told her. He would have never said anything about it. And that's the biggest problem with Michael. It's not even just the lying, it's the lies by omission. So you were just gonna sit up here and still act like you had a job even though you didn't have one? I mean, you really should have discussed that with her before you even did it, but definitely afterwards. What? So you were gonna let her go into decision day without knowing that? It was completely mind-boggling to me how he was able to talk himself out of that and into her good graces to the point where she was the happiest she's ever been in this 2 months. Like, I was completely shocked, maybe because I wasn't actually listening to what he actually said. Like, how are you the happiest you've ever been when he just admitted to lying by omission? Okay, girl, if you like it, I love it. I just really hope that you understand, if you stay with him, you're just going to be dealing with the same thing over and over. It's just going to be a complete cycle over and over and over again, because he just doesn't know how to be honest. And I want better for you. I do. Finally, let's talk about Katie and Derek. So on their last day of the retreat, they went on a date. I'm not even going to really get into the details of it. Derek was talking about forever, and Katie was talking about their relationship as if it was temporary. Anytime he would try to talk about the future and about, you know, wanting to work out, I want to be partners with you, I want this to, you know, I want this to be a forever thing, she was just like, well, I just want us to make each other happy, even if that's not us together. She was shutting him down, consistently shutting him down. And he really just wanted her to be like, look, if you're in this, I'm in this. And she could not give that to him because that's not how she feels. So Derek had this outing with his father and his sister, and he told his family that he wanted to work, and he just is talking about how he wants to travel with her, how he wants a family with her, he wants to grow with her. And the dad said, you can't go into a marriage wanting to change anybody because it just will not work. And it's like Derek wants Katie to be more supportive and wants her to be, you know, more loving and, you know, just give back some of that, just give back some of the compassion that he gives out, and she just cannot reciprocate. You cannot change that about her. Katie wants Derek to be her ex. That's what it seems like. She wants him to be a certain way. She wants him to be someone that he's not. You cannot change him. That's not going to work. And I feel like that's where the dad was coming from. I think he sees, because he's been through marriage before and divorced. So I think he understands, like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can't change nobody, and y'all trying to change each other, it's not going to work. Katie went and sat down with her daddy, who she looks exactly like. I don't know how I didn't see it before, but she looks so much like her dad, and his wife, her stepmother. She said there's a giant emotional disconnect between her and Derek, and she doesn't think he knows how. I mean, to me, she was completely insulting him this entire time. She called him a boy, and he has a baby personality. She's very emasculating towards Derek. Like, you want him to be a man and you want him to take control, you want him to initiate things, but you stay emasculating him. Maybe you should build him up as a man. Maybe you should, like, instead of trying to tear him down all the time and making him, what my grandmother would say, henpecked. I always crack up whenever she calls a man henpecked. But if you're trying to make someone that's a stronger man, you know, someone that is going to take control, you're constantly tearing him down is not going to do that. And her dad was just pointing out how she's being really amped up just talking about it. And she was like, the way you're acting would scare me away too. The daddy knows Derek is a good man, okay? I feel like he really likes Derek. It meant a lot to him that Derek came to him and like still asked for his hand in marriage even though they were already married. And I think he could just see he's a good man. Katie, there ain't nobody out here. Let me tell you something. There ain't nobody out here. That man that you want, he ain't no good. He didn't want you. He didn't say I love you. He didn't care about you at all until he found out you was getting married. That is a manipulator. That is someone who does not deserve to be in your life. There are not many good men out here. So anytime you get your hands on a good man that really cares about you, that is willing to make an effort, that really, you know what I'm saying, will take out the time and want to be a good man to you, you should latch on to that and not let go. Katie was like, she wants an emotional connection with him. Girl, they did a flashback of him doing this romantic thing for y'all one month anniversary. It made you cry. Y'all didn't have any sort of emotional connection right then. He hasn't made an effort to have an emotional connection with you. Okay. 2, y'all laying down in bed, you said you want him to be emotionally naked. And as soon as this man opens his mouth and tries to express himself in any sort of way, you shut him down. No, that's not how you do it. I wonder why he finds it difficult to be around you. You know what I'm saying? He finds it hard to be around you because anything he does, you nitpick. And she took offense to it and was like, well, we gonna have arguments. And, you know, basically she wants him to be confrontational with her. And yeah, some confrontation and arguments need to be had, but we shouldn't have to argue all day. That's dysfunctional. Some arguments, yes, but it sounds like Katie wants the majority of their relationship to be button heads. She wants this confrontation, but then again, she doesn't want him to be a jerk. Which one is it? Because you got a good guy. It's like at the end she kisses him and they kind of like make up, I guess, but she's really sending him mixed signals because she obviously doesn't want to be with this man. She better say no on decision day, because don't string him along if you don't really want him. Just let him go. And I hope Derek says no. Honestly, I hope he says no. I hope he sees his worth. He doesn't deserve to be treated the way she treats him. So it is what it is. That's how I feel about all the couples, y'all. I didn't think this video would be this long at all, but you know, when I get to talking about these couples, a lot comes out. And y'all let me know what y'all think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion. Be respectful in these comments, you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.